Welcome in. This is your odds checker betting preview for this week's QBE Shootout. I'm Rick Gehman, that right there, Geoff Fienberg. And Jeff, we take no weeks off, my friends. We have one of the most unique events out there on the PGA Tour, a team event. And I will describe the format in just 1 second, but it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Rick, and congrats to your boy, Victor, winning again. I'm already excited to talk about the big events this year, Rick. As like a cavalcade of new great golfers have sort of forced their way into the odds boards. And I am so much looking forward to seeing how these new preeminent faces in the game make our odds boards for these super fields look as we hit January and beyond in 2022. So I'm so excited for golf, even an event like this.
Yeah, 2022 shaping up to be an incredible year, but one... I'll say final event, but I feel like I've said that a couple of times here in 2021. The QBE Shootout, Jeff, here's how it works. These guys are paired up in teams of 2, and it is a 3-round event. The first round, that's your scramble. That's when you get to watch these guys go very, very low. They can take the best shot from each of them every single time. You might see a 59 or 2 out there. The second round, that's considered a modified alternate shot. Both players hit a tee shot. They choose which one they want to play, and then they go alternate shot from there. And the final round, that's better ball. Each golfer is going to play their own ball. Whoever score from the team is better, that will be the team score. So 3 rounds, but you are going to see a ton of scoring. And when you start to look at this field, you're going to find golfers and teams that have played together a lot. They have experience in formats that might be similar to this, whether it's the Zurich Classic, whether they've played in President's Cups or something like that. You're going to see guys with more experience. Does that matter this week when you're handicapping the field?
I think a little bit, but honestly, I don't know. We called the hero a hit and giggle. I would argue this is exponentially more of a hit and giggle. This is just like friends of Greg Norman getting together to play 3 days of golf.
Yeah, and the fact that Harris English and Matt Kuchar are not only your defending champions, but they've dominated this event. They've won it 3 times in the last 7 years. Maybe there is something there to do with a little bit of rapport and consistency between the teams. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I would acknowledge that the favorite team of Burns and Horschel has never played together before, and at least competitively and at a price that you're going to list off in a moment. I don't really know if I have any real interest in doing that.
4.5 to 1 at FanDuel. They did play the Zurich together. They finished T4, T5 at the Zurich, followed by Jason Kokrak and Kevin Na. 6 to 1 at DraftKings. If you're looking at the odds checker grid, that's your best odd available. And then those defending champions, 6.5 to 1. That's kind of the top tier here, Jeff. Is there a wager to be made on one of these teams, or should we wait a little bit further? And we can't wait too long because I forgot to mention there's only 12 teams. There's only 12 teams in this event.
Yeah, only 12 teams. Honestly, Rick, I could probably be talked into one of these teams. A Kokrak, Na, English.
That's an interesting one. Yeah,
English Kuchar does seem like some blind value. Plus 650. They've won before. You could, just play off how well they sort of work as a team. This time around, English has made such strides over the last 2 years as it pertains to his ability to win, his world ranking, all the things that come with it. Kuchar sort of gone the other way, but there's no doubt Kuchar could save some holes on Bermuda greens by draining the putts. Forced to pick one would probably be Kuchar and English. I think I'm avoiding all of them.
I think I would pick Kokrak and Na are interesting. They're both pretty high ceiling players. And when you get to something like this and they start draining putts and they get hot, who knows how low they could go? Because I feel like you just have to keep your foot on the pedal at all times. So Kokrak and Na is probably my small lean. But that next tier does give us some golfers that are a bit enticing here. Jason Day, Mark Leishman, they're 8 to 1. The Aussies are getting together again. Jason Day won this in 2014 with Cameron Tringale. Mark Leishman was half of the winning Zurich Classic team with Cam Smith, so they have individually hosted trophies in team events before. Then you get Max Homa, Kevin Kisner, also at 8-1. And then I'll round in, let's see, Corey Connors, Graham McDowell at 11, and Ian Poulter with the Charles Howell III pairing at 12-1.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think my eyes kind of went straight to the all Aussie team of Day and Leishman. You've mentioned their success in team events. You've mentioned, they're both longstanding President's Cup players. Jason Day has been working hard to find his game and his form again. Leishman is the type of player, at least we saw last year, Rick. He really started to peak this time of year. I shouldn't say peak. He started to find his game again this time of year, heading into just before that November Masters and that November Masters. So I guess that would be the team that has my eye. And I'll tell you, if Graham McDowell's got a pulse, I want to bet on Connors and McDowell. And tell me about Tiburon Golf Course. I should know more about it. But if it's the type of place that McDowell can plot around just fine, you're going to tell me, that is a team I'll have no problem investing in.
Yeah, listen, they're not going to set this up like the U.S. Open, right? This is going to be an opportunity where these guys are going to be able to make a lot of low scores. There's obviously going to be water lurking, as there is in many Florida courses, but generally flat. I think Graham McDowell could get it around. The thing about the Connors McDowell group that's interesting is if they stay on schedule, so an alternate shot, if they stay on schedule where Connors can hit the approaches and McDowell can roll the putts, that's dangerous. If they get off schedule, they're in horrible trouble. So I imagine they are kind of one of the higher upside, lower floor type teams that we have here. But at 11-1, the first team in double digits, I was perking my ears up as well, Jeff.
Yeah, so that I guess would be the team that I can tell you for sure I'm going to bet. I don't know how deep my exposure is going to be. Check the odds checker article with my official and final selections, but I mean, I literally feel like I'm looking at like making first touchdown bets with these odds, right? I mean, that's just sort of like the range of odd I'm looking in with no actual long shot. Although I guess we could get there, but once we cross that 10-1 threshold where it's easier to maybe swallow swallow a line in such an exhibition, it is that McDowell's Connors team that has percolated for me.
McDowell has finished runner-up in this event three times. Once with Darren Clark, once with Shane Lowry, and once with Emiliano Grillo. So maybe it's McDowell who is the common denominator in all of this, my friend.
I like hearing that. He dragged Grillo to second place.
He did in 2018.
Gotta get on this, Connor. I'm in. I've said it twice. Make it three times. I'm in on Connors and GMAC. I don't know where that friendship comes from either. That's a pretty random one. I know a lot of these ones, there's a backstory to pretty much all of them. This one, hyper random to me.
I tend to agree with you. I'd love to know the backstory behind some of these pairings. The rest of the teams, Brian Harmon and Hudson Swafford, 14-1, along with Ryan Palmer and Matt Jones. Will Zalatoris and Sean O'Hare, same number, 14-1. So three teams right there at 14-1.
Has O'Hare done anything?
Not recently. He's won this event twice, once with Steve Stricker and once with Kenny Perry, most recently in 2017. But his recent play, I don't think even registers anywhere.
Yeah, that's tough because you see Zalatoris and you can make the case he's, arguably after Burns, after that first team, maybe the most talented player in the field. But
I mean, he hasn't played horribly. T22 in Bermuda the last time he teed it up. He made the cut at the Fortinet. That was the first event of the swing season. So he only played twice this year, or this season, I should say, on the
three rounds. We don't need everything.
You're not even going to hit all the shots, quite frankly. So.
Okay, I will admit I am a little tempted on that one.
A little tempted with Zalatoris and Sean O'Hare. Danny Lee and Brant Snedeker are 18-1. And then here's a very interesting team, and they're not getting respect from the odds makers. Lexi Thompson is going to tee it up with Bubba Watson, and they are 40-1. That best number available is Bet365, just for reference. DraftKings has them at 28-1, FanDuel 33-1. So that number is shoppable if you want to go with the longest odds in the field. Yeah, the Zalatoris O'Hare one is interesting. The Harmon Swafford, the Georgia boys, that's kind of interesting. Harmon won this with Patton Kizzire in 2018. I think I'd probably lean this week more than most the rapport, the connection between two golfers being able to trust one another, playing the same ball, or protecting each other from bad scores.
Yeah, I don't mind that. We're certain Harmon and Swafford, the Bulldogs, have played plenty of golf together. Right around that sort of like TOC end of year, the playoffs, Swafford was making a nice little run of form. And any semblance of that would probably go a long way at an event like this. But another team, if they stay on schedule, sort of like Connors McDowell, I could see them playing a role. As for Thompson Watson, Thompson has been in this event. This, I think, will be the third time they've had her play. I love this. If they made the whole thing co-ed, Rick, yeah. I would honestly support that. I think that would be fun. It's Christmas time. Me and you, this like golf, there's like 2 weeks without golf the year. So the year can feel exhausting and turn into a blur. So I'm never one to complain. I obviously love straight up WGC match play. I support the Zurich. Anytime they want to give us a change of vibe, I support, and I mean that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And this is such a unique event. And with 12 teams, you get to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of everybody. It's not like there's a cut or anything like that. So it should be an easy watch. It should be enjoyable if you like low scores. So I agree with you. Let's go. Give me more of this. Give me more of whatever else they can concoct in their brains and throw at us. With only 12 teams in this field, Geoff, what is a reasonable number to make your final betting slip when this thing tees off on? I actually don't think it tees off until Friday because it is a 3-round event. No, I'm wrong. It is. Well, I'll confirm that. I thought it was Friday, but I'll confirm that.
I mean, firstly, before I make the bets for this event, I have to like get in my head, this isn't normal. I'm not playing normal units. When I hit submit on a ticket, I can't expect to see what I normally see my winning golf bets pay.
Yeah.
And I don't want to increase my risk by 3 times for this event either. But I think it could make sense. You could easily play one of the guys in that 6 to 8-1 range and then toss on a double digit if you want. I think that's easy. That makes total sense. I mean, you'd be playing two of 12 teams.
Yeah.
And I get, you can honestly, if you wanted to, you could play 3 teams above 10-1. I wouldn't think that would be like, you could make that work also with the allocation of dollars, if that's what works for you. I would say if I do see myself going to like Kokrak or English or Kuchar, yeah, and then probably Connors McDowell. But I could also see Day Leishman with Connors McDowell. I've said too many words, but I could honestly do Connors McDowell and Harmon Swafford. Like, I don't know. I know I'm betting Connors and McDowell. The rest, I guess you'll have to check below. That's a decision I have to make. And I'll be honest, Rick, I'm not ready to make it right now. And it's such a low rung event. Like normally it's 150 guys. I'm not ready to make a decision. Sometimes that makes sense.
Well, you've got
12. I can't make a decision.
You've got time because I was correct. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, round 1, round 2, round 3. So you've got an extra day in your pocket, Geoff.
I'll go out on this. Did you see they promoted this on Sunday Night Football this week, coming back from commercial? Because I think it's going to be on NBC. It's going to be on NBC. Weekend afternoon. Yeah. It's like, wow.
Great. Yeah, great spot there. How much did they pay for that? You love to see it. QBE Shootout via Odds Checker. Thank you very much. That right there, Geoff Fienberg. You can find him on Twitter at GFienberg17. You can find me at Rick Run Good. Best of luck this weekend. We'll see you soon.